good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Yanko. It's all hoops tonight, and we're starting things off with the PBA Governors Cup Finals.
Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Barangay Ginebra draws first blood in the best-of-7 series against the TNT Tropang Giga. Joining us tonight to look ahead to the rest of the PBA Governors Cup Finals is PBA Rush anchor Mikey Reyes, here to shoot his shots. He's known for shooting, that's why we always have him here. Okay, a big win for Barangay Ginebra, Mikey. One-sided, especially towards the end. Nagulat ka ba? 102 to 90 in favor of Barangay Ginebra.
Well, I was expecting TNT to put up more of a fight. And at the end of the day, they were the #1 team after the elimination round. So I was expecting more from them. But then again, with players like Pogoy and Castro struggling, it'll be tough to beat a Barangay Ginebra team who is, again, they just know when to peak. Yeah. That's just Ginebra. They just know when to peak, and right now they're peaking once again.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now may shot list tayo. Yeah. But because of the fact that nako-cover si Mikey sa PBA, we have to make it keys to winning.
Keys to winning mga prediction. Mahirap na, tsaka mga kabarangay na.
Alright, sige, Dip.
We can start it off, of course, na tapos na yung Game 1. Alam natin na nanalo yung Ginebra. But let's continue on with Barangay Ginebra's keys to winning first. What do they need to do in order to win this series? Una sa listahan mo dyan, Mikey. Four-headed monster continues to dominate. Who are these four guys?
Well, number one, if you look at their minutes, you talk about Christian, obviously Scotty, Justin Brownlee, and Jamie Malone. You look at their minutes. 45 minutes almost for Scotty Thompson. The least of them four was Jamie Malone, so with almost 38.
Yeah.
That's basically their team, guys. Yung apat na yon, and then some Jeremiah Gray or maybe a Nards Pinto. So those four guys, if they can continue to be consistent. And what's great about these four guys is, yes, they can all score, but they're giving it to the hot hand. Yeah. Like Scotty didn't need to score yesterday, although he did drop a triple-double, so he didn't need to score that much. Justin knows his role. Christian Stan Hardinger has been, run away for BPC. We'll find out in a few days. But, that four-headed monster, TNT needs to find a way to figure that out. And if they can be consistent, they can get another chip.
8th career triple-double para kay Scotty Thompson. It was really a tough choice for the best player of the game when you take a look at all the contributions. Si Jamie Malonzo nga, 4 points in the first half, ended up with 21 points. But, so, interesting to note, and na-mention mo nga, Justin Brownlee, Christian Stan Hardinger leading the race for BPC. Pero ito, one guy in particular, Dip, that had a shoot-first mentality last time around Game 1. Itong si Jeremiah Gray, 2 of 16 shooting. And shooters need to shoot. Yeah, you know that? And but what happened here for Jeremiah Gray, and how important is he in terms of yung championship hopes ng Barangay Ginebra?
Well, shots were just not falling for Jeremiah Gray, but that's what you want to see. If you're Coach Tim Cone, I'm sure your dad knows this. If he's shooting, he's confident with his shot, even though it's not going in, it's gonna go in at some point in this series. And he never just plays so much better when Jeremiah Gray catches fire, because he spreads the floor. He's another threat. Hindi mo pwede biglang i-double wala ka nga yung weakest link, because you don't know who's gonna double itong si Justin Brownlee when he gets hot. So Jeremiah Gray is a very important piece moving forward.
Speaking of struggles, lipat tayo sa kabilang team, ang TNT Tropang Giga. Ito medyo mas malaki yung epekto nito for them, because if Jeremiah Gray struggled, isang tao lang yun. But for TNT, 2 guys did not shoot the ball well, particularly R.R. Pogoy and Jason Castro. Ano nangyari dun for Game 1?
Well, I always talk about how R.R. Pogoy is basically the guy that makes it easier for everyone else. Because when he spreads the floor, when he's hitting shots, there's more space for Mikey to penetrate. There's more space for RHJ to, establish himself in the paint. And there was a point that he was close to 50% from 3 this conference. This conference, he has been shooting the lights out, talking about R.R. Pogoy. So, they were #1 because of R.R. Pogoy's shooting. So, he's going to need to step up. Also, Jason Castro, having the luxury of having Jason Castro come off the bench, the blur. He played 30 minutes, but still 2 of 9, if I'm not mistaken. So, they need to step up if they want to, compete with the scoring of Ginebra.
Yeah, let's continue on with the shooting discussion. No? Yung 3 points ng TNT, they shot 9 out of 35 from beyond the arc in game #1. Was it a case of bad shooting night lang or yung looks ba na nakuha nila weren't that good also?
Well, we have to commend the defense of Ginebra, first and foremost. But, they're PBA players. They can make shots even with hands in their faces. So, this is also related to R.R. Pugoy because if he continues to hit, or if he starts to hit, that's going to be a problem for Ginebra. And I think with 9 of 35, maybe get it to 13 of 35, 15 of 35, they might have had the chance here. So, that three-point shot, a big weapon for TNT.
I want to talk about the defense here for both these teams in reality. So let's talk first about the Barangay Ginebra side of things. So you mentioned yung defense of the defense of Barangay Ginebra doing very well. But then you take a look at how TNT is defending Barangay Ginebra, especially without Kelly Williams.
Yeah.
Poy Eram, we all saw what happened, did foul out. Si Justin Chua ended up leaving the first quarter and had to be taken out for an MRI. You take a look at all of that. How do they defend the front court of Barangay Ginebra if you're TNT?
You talk about the evolution of basketball. Poy Eram and Justin Chua are part of that evolution. They're stretch bigs. Christian Hardinger is a bulldozer, old school big man who likes to body up and also flop a little bit. But still, he knows that he is, he's a man amongst boys in that paint. So I was hoping that Kelly Williams could be that guy who could, body up Christian Hardinger. So it's going to be tough. It's a tough assignment for both Poy Eram and Justin Chua if he does come back. So I think a little bit more small ball could negate yung kalakihan ni Christian sa ilalim.
Pao wanted to talk about the big men, no? But for Ginebra, hindi lang naman big men yung gumagawa this time in game number 1. The wing and yung, syempre, Scottie Thompson, the MVP. Sila yung gumawa that time. How do you contain this time the smaller players of Ginebra, Scottie Thompson and Jamie Malonzo?
11 other coaches are trying to find out. So if they find out, maybe they'll let us know. I have no idea how to stop these two guys, to be honest with you. But Scottie Thompson, what's scary with Scottie, I think we've said it time and time again, he does not need to score to control a game. 10, 13, and 11 in that game. And Jamie Malonzo, 21 and 8, including three-pointers. They're just getting better by the day, by the game. So I don't know how they figure that out.
And if you're Barangay Ginebra, you're going to expect the TNT Tropang Giga to just explode one game from the perimeter because they're just that good of a team in terms of shooting the three. One, do you think that game will come in terms like, okay, parang hindi nagmimintis yung TNT Tropang Giga? And two, do you think if that happens, Barangay Ginebra will be struggling defensively when they were so good in game number 1?
Oh, they're gonna make shots. We know what TNT can do. We know their talent, diba, their skill. They're gonna make shots at some point in this series. But the problem is with Ginebra, they just know how to control the pace. Meron sila mga NSD wins na fourth quarter. There's a big stretch, 3-4 minute stretch at talagang they take control of the game and they shackle itong teams na kalaban nila. So, at some point, TNT is gonna make shots, but Ginebra just knows when to lock down the more important possessions because that's what they play. They play 48 minutes of basketball. They don't worry about, one quarter, one stretch. They play 48 minutes, and they also know that one game won't win them a championship. And they've known that for years.
We look forward to game number 2, what adjustments TNT will make, and then if Ginebra can continue their dominance, both inside and outside. Pero hindi pa alis si Mikey, kasama pa natin siya for the next part as we talk NBA, because when we return, we'll break down the late season collapse of the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to the game. Maybe we can cue some sad music for this because sad news for Dallas fans. We won't be seeing Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving in the Western Conference playoffs. Now, let's get some insights on the situation with NBA Hype host Mikey Reyes. Mikey, welcome back to the game.
Parang malungkot ka, bro.
Okay ka lang, pare?
Actually, papasok ko muna ito kay Pao kasi ginagather ko ba yung sarili ko. Maybe you can start us off here, Pao.
Alright, sige. Let's get all the formalities out of the way first. Okay, Mikey, since ikaw yung analyst dito, you take a look at what happened to the Mavericks this time around. A lot of people are saying, they have Kyrie, they have Luka. Sure ball playoff team to, but they did not even make the play-in. Where did the wheels fall off for you?
I believe I was here when this trade happened, maybe a few days after, and we talked about this. And I already said na okay yung Dallas kung sa 2K mo gagamitin. But in the NBA, it's tough. It's tough to have two superstars who can't play defense. At the end of the day, they're gonna score, but they can't play defense. They can't lock the other person down. And I believe that if you want to build a super team or maybe 2-3 superstars, at least the other superstar could control a basketball game without the basketball. Because that's huge to play on the other end.
Naging controversial yung Dallas Mavericks after Luka Doncic in particular played the first quarter, then sat out after playing a few seconds and minutes in the second quarter after the Bulls defeated the Mavs 115-112. And you take a look at the fact that parang nag-tank sila bigla towards
Can you imagine kung sa Pilipinas ginawa?
Hindi pwede. First of all, di yan pwede. Pero, why do you think that the Mavericks, in particular, they had the chance to still make the play-in, all of a sudden just pulled the plug late in the season?
Hindi ko pa natitext si Mark Cuban. Hindi ko pa alam kung ano sagot eh. But maybe may iniinda. Maybe they were looking more into the future. Which, to me, honestly, man, if you have one game to make, at least in the play-in, why not give yourself a chance? So I'm also... Ikaw, ano bang balita? May balita ba?
Well, I wanted to ask you first, Mike. Hindi ko pa nakakausap si paring Mark. Hindi pa niya ako pinapalikan. But if we're gonna analyze this and you're looking at the lineup right now, what would you do for the future of Dallas?
Trade one of them.
Yeah.
Who
would it be?
Would you trade Luka though?
You know what?
Remember, expiring si Kyrie.
I think Kyrie's just gonna move on.
Yeah.
So you won't even need to trade Luka.
Okay.
But Luka needs to look himself in the mirror and ask himself, ano ba, I want to take this to the next level because he needs to stop whining, first and foremost. He needs to start playing defense because I think we're past the time na ang galing nito si Luka. Magaling naman talaga eh. But can he play championship basketball? That's the question.
So Luka Doncic actually had an interview where he was able to talk about Kyrie Irving, and of course, take us through what that was in particular. Kasi syempre, si Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are going to be the hottest topic, especially going into the next season. Sabi niya that he thinks it's a great fit, chemistry relationships take time. He wishes that he can still be there, but I don't know, Dip, what was the context behind all of this?
Kailangan ko ba umupo doon para
Gusto mo ba?
Para maglabas
Bro,
ako ng
gusto mo ba?
feelings eh.
Okay.
So
Meron ba
let's
dito
switch
yung parang
places, right?
nakahiga?
Gusto ko yung medyo
lipat ka dyan,
nakakapaglabas ako
lipat ka
ng
dyan.
feelings
Oo.
na hindi ako nagtatrabaho muna.
Yung
Sama ng
actually biased. Biased feelings mo.
Oh, sige. So, that quote right there said a lot. Dip,
Yeah.
take it away.
It's very sad as a Dallas fan, I can admit that. But I'm optimistic moving forward because as you heard, yung sinabi nga ni Luka Doncic, di ba? Si Kyrie misunderstood and I'm one to give second chances. For me, back in the Brooklyn Nets squad, marami talaga siyang pagkakamali. But this time around, I feel like it's a fresh start for him in Dallas. And we haven't seen anything yet. He played like how many games pa lang, di ba? Pagbigyan natin si Kyrie, pagbigyan natin siya ng isa pang season.
Ang tanong naman is kung si Kyrie pagbibigyan yung Dallas at kung magsistay.
Yun yung mahirap. So, if that's the case, then punta tayo sa suggestion ni Mikey na trade one of
Pero
them.
honest question, if you were to trade him,
One
let's
of
say,
them.
wish list mo lang.
One of them.
Yeah,
Kung
one
sino
of
yung
them.
pipiliin ko i-trade.
At para saan? Or at least, anong klaseng player?
Actually, prior to the start of the season, I feel like we need a legitimate big.
Okay.
We don't have that guy who can help Luka na throw lobs, alley-oops, diba? So, si Kyrie pa rin naman yung papamigay ko. Pero for now, papagbigyan ko muna siya for a couple more games when the next season starts.
I was going to say, baka gusto niyo si Gobert kasi mukhang on the way out sa
Totally
table.
different topic.
Kung kailangan nyo ng
topic.
big man na to throw lobs to. There's a guy that might be available soon. But you take a look at all of that. Option ba for you, Deep, na si Luka iti-trade, si Kyrie iti-trade, mag-full rebuild na lang ang Max?
That's an interesting question, but I'm not ready to let Luka go just yet because
Ma-hurt ka ba?
first, ma-hurt ako, pare. Hindi pa tapos yung kontrata niya. Pwede ba, huwag natin siyang pangunahan. Tapusin natin yung kontrata niya. Let him decide where he wants to go. If he wants to go to the free agency, but don't trade him. Because, I mean, based on all his interviews, I feel like his heart still belongs with Dallas.
Mikey, ikaw, if there's option was there to trade both Luka and Kyrie for assets, gagawin mo ba?
Ako kasi, hindi naman ako bias sa Dallas eh. Kumbaga, trade na natin eh. I mean, it's been years na din. Ilang years na si Luka?
4 or 5.
4 or 5 years. And, I don't know, man. I mean, if you have those two pieces, you could, like what Lakers did, di ba?
Yeah.
Like, total revamp.
Hey, look, we traded Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert and we look okay. But, you know, let's see what your moms do.
Yeah. Gusto niyo payakin, sige, trade si Luka.
Pag na-trade, please, nandito ka.
So, we're gonna go and get Dip a couple of tissues right here. Because after the break, we'll take a look at what's going on in Minnesota as they get ready for a play-ins appearance. Stay tuned, you're watching The Game. Welcome back, you're watching The Game. The Minnesota Timberwolves are under some heat after a scuffle today between Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson. While the team said the matter has been resolved internally, well, we have NBA hype host Mikey Reyes to pour gasoline rather, into the fire and to look into the team's chemistry as they are set to make an appearance in the Western Conference play-ins. Mikey, have you ever punched a teammate?
Oh, well, dun. Tsaka ito, ang bilis. Tsaka ang bilis eh. Kumbaga, I was expecting him to go back and forth. Parang ang bilis ni Gobert na mag-decide na susuntok na siya. So, and then he stepped back right away knowing naman that. So it's that was crazy to see. To think pa na malapit na mag-play in, the playoffs are coming. So, what a time for it to happen.
Yeah.
You think it's a normal thing that it happened? I mean, we've seen it happen with the Golden State Warriors in practice. This one, during the game mismo. Does this happen a lot? You've played in competitive leagues, may mga teammates ka rin na pretty sure hindi mo masyado kasundo or you're just playing as teammates. Does this happen a lot? Is this normal?
And if this happened to you, were you Anderson or Gobert?
Ako yung nanonood dun sa likod. Umiinom lang ng tubig. But if you think about it, may double standard sa ganito. If it happens to a winning team, that's championship basketball right there. They're so competitive. But if it happens to a team na medyo struggling, play-in, parang, they're falling apart and all that. But when it happened to the Warriors and when they happened maybe to Miami with Chalmers during the time with LeBron, di ba? It's always looked upon as, competitive siya. That's why they win. That's why they're champions. So, they're gonna have to look at this. I don't know, there aren't any sanctions yet. Rudy Gobert was sent home right after the game. Ayaw nila mag-abot na si Kyle tsaka si Rudy Gobert. And I saw the apologies and all that.
Yeah.
But the question is, can they fix this by the time they face the Lakers or peaking at the right moment as well?
So Rudy Gobert did say in the statement that he did apologize, and he also called Kyle Anderson as, quote, who is someone I truly love and respect as a teammate. And syempre natawa si Mikey doon after realizing what was said right after.
Sabay love.
Sabay love. Tough love, yun yung sasabihin niya. But of course, the Timberwolves, we have to talk about them, especially because makatapat nila ang Los Angeles Lakers sa play-in. What if Rudy Gobert has a revenge game against the Lakers? That'll be a great story. But you take a look at this particular matchup, itong Lakers and the Timberwolves. The Lakers, they got the wins they needed. Struggled to get some of the wins that they needed. How are they shaping up sa palagay mo going into the play-in?
Well, after this incident, I don't think they have a shot against a team that is laser focused. I see the Lakers are laser focused here. They're going to squeeze into the playoffs, and LeBron is again going to prove all his haters wrong after a rough start and after all those trades. They're looking good at the moment. So I just don't see the Lakers losing here. I hope hindi ko mabati yun sa lahat ng Laker fans. Pasensya na. But, I think they need to fix this before anything else.
You don't think how the Minnesota team right now is playing with Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, when he came back, he was playing well. And even Rudy Gobert, relatively maganda yung pinapakita niya. Is that not enough?
I think talent-wise, they can compete. Definitely. They're not going to be the play-in. Yung Dallas nga, may talent. Wala sa play-in, di ba? Pero ito, talent-wise, may pieces sila eh.
Yeah.
But then again, chemistry with LeBron, AD on the other side, di ba? They're meshing well along with D'Lo. So, this play-in game, I don't think.
Remember, for those wondering, the Timberwolves are actually number 8. So what is going to happen is that the Lakers need to beat the Wolves. The T-Wolves, if they do lose one, they will have another game for a chance to make it to the
si
playoffs.
Gobert pinag-uusapan.
baka
Hindi ka na invested
Hindi na ako invested. I can now talk.
Balita ako, kausap na ni Coach Jeff si Gobert
But then, that's another good question.
Sa Commissioner's Cup ata lalaro.
Alam mo, pwede siya, eligible siya. They can have the negotiations during the FIBA World Cup. But you take a look at this entire situation here in terms of yung chemistry nila. Sa palagay mo ba, will the Timberwolves risk breaking up in terms of yung mga roster rotation nila, lineup rotation nila, going into the play-in, considering that you had one of your starters punch another?
They're gonna have to do something. Again, they're gonna have to do something. And ito yung mga, alam mo yung LeBron, how parang inaabangan lang niya, yung he's gonna look for those weaknesses.
Yeah.
Hindi mo alam, baka kausapin pa niya yung mga yan during the game, prior to the game. Kumbaga, LeBron is just too experienced in the NBA that he knows how to maximize these types of things. So, I'm just, if I'm gonna put my money on someone, I'm gonna put it on the Lakers for this one.
All right, Derek, you can zoom in on Mikey again. He already complimented your Lakers. Mikey, maraming salamat. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Happy Easter to two of you.
Happy Easter.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dipianco.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.